It's the type of story they make movies about. After 60 straight losses to begin their history, not only did the Casper College Thunderbirds get their first win in program history, they finished above 500 and capped the season with a bowl win. While Ezra Ovalle, Charles Mack, and the rest of the surprising team were interviewed everywhere from podcasts to the Today Show, the one place not impressed with their success was the American Athletic Conference. Despite the Cinderella season, the rest of the schools did not believe it wiped out the complete ineptitude that preceded it, and decided it was time to part ways with Casper. While many would scoff at the struggling conference for letting one of their few members go, they did so with a plan for expansion in place. Unlike the Power 5 conferences, who had formed an alliance to not poach each other's members, the AAC didn't have that limitation, and began offering memberships to other Group of 5 schools. Within weeks, they had added Air Force from the Mountain West, Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina from the Sun Belt, and Army, who had no conference affiliation. The conference felt that they had put together a group of up-and-coming schools that would allow them to take the Big 12 spot as a Power 5 school. Despite poaching what were assumed to be the cream of the Group of 5 crop, the new additions to the Big 12 had done relatively little to compensate for the departure of Oklahoma and Texas, leaving some national writers to refer to them as a Group of 6 conference. Even the addition of former powerhouse North Texas wasn't enough to keep them in a national championship conversation, and because of that, their automatic New Year's Six bowl berth was stripped. The Power 4 schools, on the other hand, were enjoying varying degrees of success. The SEC was doing fine, only 1 year removed from Florida's national championship, and while the ACC hadn't been involved in the national title picture in recent years, they were continuing negotiations with Notre Dame on a full-time membership. But the top conference seemed to be the Big Ten, mostly on the back of the Black Rock State's Gorillas' recent run of dominance, with 5 national championships and only 1 loss in the previous 6 years, this time besting the Utah Utes in the title game. And now, the Big Ten looked to become the next super conference. While adding Notre Dame would go a long way for them, they instead decided to honor their alliance with the ACC and extend offers to 2 Group of 6 schools. The first was Miami of Ohio, who had spent the last few seasons in a national championship conversation. While their MAC conference rival, Northern Illinois, had also been building something, the Big Ten decided to go in a wildly different direction. With Air Force's exit from the Mountain West, the conference looked to maintain their 12-team status, and began negotiating with new free agent Casper College, a natural geographic fit for them. But just as negotiations were close to wrapping up, a surprising phone call from the Big Ten had the Thunderbirds headed to the Midwest instead. Ridiculed as a terrible choice by most, the Big Ten instead viewed this as a high upside gamble. They were either getting a school on the rise who were a national sensation, or they were adding a cupcake opponent for their other members to feast on. There were stipulations on the membership, allowing the Big Ten an easy out. If the Thunderbirds finished in the top half of the conference, they would be allowed continued membership. If they won the conference, they would get permanent membership with no strings attached. But if they were at the bottom of the conference, the affiliation would end and Casper would become an independent. Back home in Wyoming, concerns were rising about the starting quarterback, as Charlie Wilkerson was returning from his broken back, but Ezra Ovalle, now referred to as the Mountain Wolf on campus, seemed to take the spot for his own. But after numerous small ailments knocked him out of action during games, he revealed that he had played the previous season with a partially torn rotator cuff, and while the recovery time would allow him to return for the season, he requested a medical redshirt for the upcoming year, clearing the way for Wilkerson to start in his senior season. Meanwhile, Coach Beanie decided to change up playbooks, going back to a 4-3 on defense and bringing an air raid offense with all the new receivers coming to Casper. Realizing this would be the toughest season they faced, Coach Beanie and his team practiced harder than ever, ready to surprise the world once again. What's up, guys? I'm Shane, and welcome to the Year 2 offseason of our Casper College Prestige Dynasty. All right, so here we are on the players leaving screen. This is probably the last year where we're just going to have people who we don't really care about. Although Gonzalez, I mean, he stepped up pretty well for middle linebacker, and Scott was a great second tight end. Luckily, we don't need him to fill that void anymore. It's weird how smooth this is going to be. So we're going to see if we got any transfer requests coming in. I don't want the Madden draft class. No one's coming in. That's fine. We've had enough classes coming in. And we're up to a 2-star school. So next season, we don't even have to worry about getting scrubs. Like, we'll have better players coming in too. So not getting anyone transferring in, it's fine. Now, as I've told you guys before, we have already signed 25 players. We can't sign anyone else. So National Signing Day is kind of a dud for us. But if you look at this class coming in, these linebackers, a couple of safeties coming in, a good cornerback. William Quinn's going to be another quarterback for us. 85 speed, 78 excel. I mean, he's a good balance. So he'll come in. I believe he's a junior. He'll probably catch a red shirt or something. Another fullback coming in. But again, Juan Cena, he is a junior. So this will be his last year coming up. Or he was a junior, so now he's a senior. So we're going to need another fullback. So now we're all set at that position. You know, more linebackers, a couple more offensive linemen, a kicker who's going to turn into a punter. Just a lot of these guys not necessarily going to make a huge impact. Some of them will. But for the most part, we're just adding depth. So yeah, from here, we're just going to go right to position changes. All right, so position changes I think are all set. Nothing really big here with quarterback. Obviously, we're adding someone. And while it might look like we've got a decent amount of quarterbacks here, we don't. Because most of them are trash. Same thing, another halfback coming in. Wide receivers, definitely, yeah. I mean, now we've got 6 viable wide receiver options. Tight end, we got a pair now. It's unfortunate Gordon's not going to be starting this year, because I've never seen a +10 training result before. But again, he's only a sophomore now. He'll still be around for a while. Left tackle, like I said again, luckily Chet Manley, he's not going to be starting this year. It looks like Torres will beat him out. But Manley's only a sophomore. He's still got a few more cracks at it. He'll be fine. Same thing with Sir Fallon is balling. He's made a couple really good plays. And actually, if he gets good enough training results, he might still be the starter. But I don't know. It depends. Center, we already know what we got. Right guard, we know what we got. And right tackle, again, Prackton, just a couple years of training results. He'll be decent. Defensive end, what I think is funny is I thought I brought in more people. So Sherman's here. Hubbard's backing him up. Right side, we got Evans and Jackson. So we'll have 50 Cent as a backup on both spots. But I don't actually have as many defensive ends as I thought. Mostly because Dane Davis, the athlete, he's a 69 overall D tackle. So he's going to be there instead. With Miguel Young sort of as a swing. So Hubbard might keep his spot. He might stay on the team. I thought he was going to go D coordinator, but he might actually get to play one more year. Although, actually, I might take that back. Hold on, because I got a couple... I signed too many linebackers. Oh, but this guy here, the 59 overall outside linebacker, goes up. So I'm actually going to move him over. Yeah, there we go. I'd rather have him stick it over here. All right, so Hubbard's getting cut. Sorry. He played really well for us. So, yeah, linebackers, we got a couple at each spot. We got 3 inside linebackers. 2 on the outside. No one's young, but that's all right. Cornerbacks, I mean, Harris is going to be our number 1 corner no matter what the training results are from McBoom, I would assume. But that is much better. Avery was our number 2. Now he'll be our number 3 or our number 4, depending on training results. Or no, he'll be number 2 or number 3. Sorry. Robinson will be number 4. And Washington will be kicking around because he'll get some sort of training results. He'll still be the number 5 corner, and he'll still be our kick returner. Free safety again, so Hale, unless he gets some good training results. And even if he does, I might just redshirt him. So he won't be starting this year. I mean, if he gets a +5, yeah, he'll get a red shirt and maybe have like a real bright future. And McCray will still be the starter over here. I thought Stevens was a 67. He's a 61 because I can't read, apparently. And apparently, so Jordan Miller, I did not name any of you guys after him, or he didn't get named after any of you guys, because he was sort of our walk-on, but apparently he was a transfer. Because I was about to say, the 61 overall punter was pretty good. So now we just sort of have him as a bonus punter, I guess. So if I got room on the roster, I'll redshirt Douglas and just give him another year of eligibility, another year of training results. Speaking of the training results, whew, some +5s, some +4s. All right, let's flip through this position at a time. So Charlie Brown gets a +5 on his injured season. Johnson got a +6. Ovaya gets a +4. He's going to miss this upcoming season, but he's still probably like the strongest candidate for the Deshaun Gaddy Award because he was the biggest reason. And I can't let him have a worse overall than Johnson here. I'm sorry. Mac only got a +4. Homestar Runner got a +6, though. I mean, Mac would be the other consideration, but no, I do think it's Ovalle. I think that's who it's going to be. Juan Cena only gets a +3. Husky got a +5 on the red shirt, so coming in as a true number 1. Murphy and Zay both getting +4s. So we signed all those new players, but they're going to be our 4 through 6 wide receivers. You know, someone like Daniels, he's going to get cut just to keep him on the coaching staff because I don't want anyone else to poach him. Poor Wall. He is just trash, and he was so good for us. And Mills actually made some plays too, and they're both gone. Tight end Gordon, a +5. All right. Still worse than the guy we just brought in, but again, only a sophomore. If I had any other tight ends on the roster who I wanted to use, I would redshirt him. But I think that'll have to wait for another time. Chet Manley only getting a +3. Again, that's not great, but a couple years to sit on a bench, learn from someone who's coming in from a junior college, and he'll be ready to go by his senior year. Sir Falling his ball and getting a +7. He might be a starter for us still. He's the same as that tackle, as the other guard, right? We'll see how it all balances out. Royal getting a +6, though. 71 overall center. Sophomore. True sophomore. And Pathan Niederman getting a +5. It might be worth letting Royal sit on a red shirt and just starting Niederman. Because, hey, Niederman deserves to be a starter at one point. Castle getting a +5. So 73 for his final year. Woolinen getting a +4 on his red shirt. That's not bad. Prackton getting a +4. Another one, he'll just sit on the bench behind the 71 overall right tackle. But again, he'll have a few years to get training results to get better. Hubbard got a +5. Respectable. He deserves so much more. Refinery got a +5. All right, so now see, this team's going to be way better. These guys on the bottom don't matter. Drolite getting a +4. Another one who was actually a true freshman. Chili Willie getting a +4, up to a 74 overall. Hagler a +4. All right, he'll be starting his final season. McBoom a +4. Avery a +5, so they're neck and neck. I'll give McBoom the nod because it is his final year. Washington a +4, +1 speed, +1 excel. Cool, he'll be an even better returner. Hale getting a +4. McCray getting a +4. Okay. We got some things to do. Sarsaparilla getting a +5 of an 86 overall. Okay, now let's see how many players I got to cut. I've got to cut 21 people. Pretty much everyone I brought in. That's right, because I only had 4 people graduate. So Johnson has 79 throw power, 70 accuracy. He's better than these guys down here, but I'm still thinking I might cut him. Now, he'll probably, you know what? He'll actually probably end up being here the whole time unless I get another, like, freshman quarterback. Because what I'll do is Ovalle is going to be sitting on his red shirt this year. So we'll have Brown and Quinn as the backup with Johnson as the emergency quarterback. But then next year, we won't have Brown. I want Quinn to sit on a red shirt, and we'll have Ovalle. He'll be starting over Johnson. Again, all depending on who we sign next year. I'm not going to go too crazy on red shirt. So, like, yeah, okay, Hughes, Johnson, White. I could just redshirt them and be fine, but I'll have them come in here. Maybe one of them will catch a red shirt, which basically means, like, I'm sorry, but Mills is gone. Wall is gone. Howe had a couple touchdowns for us. He's gone. And Daniels can stay. I'm going to make Devon Wall the offensive coordinator. It was going to be Daniels, but I'm going to let Daniels stay. Just have that extra wide receiver. He probably won't see the field, but he can at least stay. Hubbard can stay too. I'm going to redshirt Bryant. Again, I don't want to go crazy redshirting people because I don't want this roster to stay full and then I have to keep cutting either named players or I have to cut the new prospects coming in. But a couple of these guys, it's worth just making them catch a red shirt for a little bit. Like D-tackles, I don't have to let... neither one of these need a red shirt. Refiner will be number 1, Davis number 2, but Young, next season, he'll be number 2. Which means, basically, these guys down here, I'll keep Temple. I like having the extra one. And we got a lot of linebackers I can get rid of. Dang, I'm getting Barnett, too. He was another one in consideration for that first Deshaun Gaddy award. Well, since Hubbard's staying on the roster, I guess you can be my D coordinator. Sorry, Gonzalez. I didn't like him as much. All right, I'll take care of these new conferences. I'm going to redo our skill tree. and I'll meet you guys up in the preseason. All right, so here we are in the preseason, and we have everything set up. So let's just flip through real quick. Now, we're going to be able to get our hands on some really good prospects here, it looks like. We got Mike Jones, a +8 gem up to a 76. All right, this is not as good as I thought we were about to get. I mean, these are all JUCOs up at the top of the board, but that's fine. Hawkins, a 76 overall wide receiver. So, again, pretty good. Flynn, 78 overall, +7 gem fullback. Do we need another fullback? Absolutely not. Can I convert him to another position and make him dominant? Absolutely. David Adams, 73 overall D-end. Actually, I think... No, he's a JUCO. What? Why are you beating me up? Why are you kicking me? What? This is your influence. And she hits harder than you.
You're the one that played the video for her, so it's your influence.
You are enjoying this way too much. The best is when she spins and then comes the other way with the punch. James Mayo, another really good tight end. So, again, we're just trying to build up some depth along here. Kellen Jones, I'm still struggling to find good cornerbacks. This guy, I think, is he's a 1-star. Like, it's just what I found. But a 67 overall would still be pretty good for us. Mays here, now, +9 gem. That's already incredible. 81 throw power, 81 throw accuracy, but he's slow as crap. He is a pure pocket passer. Tom Brady would be proud. But he's a 70 overall true freshman. So if we can take him, stash him on the team, I mean, I'll build a team around a pocket passer if that's what I got to do. That's the kind of prospects we're going to need. Then further on down the board, you know, these are still relatively decent prospects. I think most of these guys are true freshmen. I think Franklin here is a JUCO. No, he's a true freshman too. So, like, there's some players here. And actually, Franklin, I'm going to throw him up the board too. We can use a couple of quarterbacks. If I can get a couple of freshmen in here, why not? And then halfback's another position. We're okay right now, but I'd like to get a young one. I couldn't find any good ones. So I just got a couple JUCOs on here that I was hoping one of them would be some sort of gem. And now let's flip through the new players coming to the team. At quarterback, we got Braden Douglas. At halfback, we got Devon Lewis. Fullback, we got Carlos Santos. Younger brother or cousin, I already forgot, of Ron Santos in the Blackrock Dynasty. The big wide receiver class starts with Sammy Wu. We got Doug Flutie and Jesus Cena. Starting at tight end will be Xavier Toney. Left tackle will be No Touchy the Hutchie. Left guard, Zane Beatles Jr. Right tackle, Dumper Plumpkiss. On the defense, left end will be Strong Bad and Joshua Sherman. At right end, Dakota Bell. And backing him up will be Randy Mangum. D tackle, we got Mac McDonald. And on a red shirt this year, Brandon Cloa. Left outside linebacker will be Michael Luffy. Middle linebacker, we got Cruiser Atlas Jr. and Devon Slayer, who I will accidentally call Demon Slayer multiple times. And at right outside linebacker, we got Scoobert McToast. Our new #1 cornerback is going to be Isaiah Torres. And we'll also have Jeffrey Jones. Free safety. Hey, Blackrock, we had Son Goku. Now we got Prince Vegeta. Strong safety again, sitting on a red shirt, but we'll have Kyle King. And playing punter for now, also sitting on a red shirt, we got Rilo Wilborn. He'll be our kicker of the future. I already told you guys sort of what the plan was with the red shirt and the depth chart, so we don't have to flip through that. I've already talked about it. But now for the schedule, A- strength of schedule, we've come up. We're going to have Wyoming at Wyoming here for the first game of the season. They are not going to be the best overall. I don't think they're going to dramatically increase. They're still going to be better than us, I think. I don't think we jumped up into the 70s after this offseason. There's no way. But we might be floating around, like, somewhere around the 60. We'll see in a couple minutes. And then from there, conference starts because, again, it's a 16-team conference now. easing into it with Miami, the other new member, before we go at BlackRock. That will be our protected rival for the entire time we're here. Who knows how long that lasts. Home for Northwestern, at Rutgers. Then I figured at Boise State, because we probably should be in the Mountain West. A bye week, then we're home for Western Kentucky, finally playing a true rivalry game. Before we go back to conference play, at Iowa, home for Nebraska, home for Illinois, at Minnesota, and home for number 8 Wisconsin. Then a conference championship, I'm not getting my hopes up. Now, as far as the roster, I have already gone through. Ovalle has his Deshaun Gaddy Award bumps. He actually got, I gave him, I think, +5 to his throw power. And then I managed to take his stamina and injury up to like a 92. So he gained like 9 points of each before I finally ran out of points. That's a pretty significant bump for him. Again, red shirt this season, but next year he'll come back with a stronger arm, so that surgery will do well, and he'll be able to take a hit better, and he won't get as winded. And real quick, we'll start the regular season, and let's see what our overall rating is. All right, dead last in the conference, that's fine, but what is the overall? We're up to 63, 67, 63. Wow, we went up even more. Another, 12 points to our overall? Jeez. Okay, now we're almost on par with an FCS school. That's not bad for just a couple recruiting classes in. Year 3 is looking like, well, actually, I mean, look at who we're playing. Northwestern, I think we can handle. We've beaten teams better than them before. Iowa's not that impressive either. Miami of Ohio's pretty good, but, you know, not that bad. I don't know. I can't even remember if we're playing Purdue, honestly. All right, Western Kentucky's okay, but we can handle them. And Wyoming's a little better than I thought. Still manageable. Actually, Boise State's not that much better than Wyoming. That's why I'm glad we didn't go to the Mountain West. Like, besides San Jose State, who obliterated us last year, and then Fresno's a little bit better, this whole conference is pretty weak. But hey, Ovalle's first team all-conference. I didn't think he would be, considering we switched conferences, but he was a finalist for the Walker? Is that the award? And then Sarsaparilla was a finalist for the Kickers Award, who's, I just blanked on the name right there. Mac is second team all-conference. All right, Willie's second team all-conference too. Not bad at all. Yeah, that's not bad. They're recognizing us. So let's see if we can make them really know our names. But that'll be for the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to hit like down below. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get it delivered directly to your inbox every single time I upload. Any thoughts, suggestions, whatever you may have, leave it all down in the comment section below. Everything you leave down there, I will always respond to unless you are the trolliest of trolls. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Shane. I'm out.